I put a little notice on my, oh, we're up. I put a notice on my channel.
Just add that please first.
Just started. Put a little comment on my channel to remind everybody.
You are first.
Hey, my accurate readings. Barb, Denise, Laurie, Dreamweaver, Kathy, Susan, you've got one moderator in already. Lisa, Carla, Connie. Hey, everybody.
Hey, yo.
145 and growing. Do you know last week we had over 1,300, everybody coming off vacation?
Oh, wow.
It was a big group last week. Good evening, good morning. Hey, Becca.
I need 2 tables. That's what I need.
It's the Jenny and Johnny show. So just to clarify, Lynn's tarot is the one who has been in the hospital and is in rehab, not Jen Lynn. I am fine. Obviously, I'm here. Everybody's been contacting Linda G and Ona and everybody. I'm fine. In good health. We've got Lynn and Lynn's tarot in the healing circle and Tallulah. Any updates on Tallulah?
She is awaiting some info on going to get a doctor's visit, basically. She's just awaiting that. She had a session with Sienna, and so hopefully things are improving.
Yeah, I've been working on her on the side too, her and Lynn, doing some healing energy work. I had requests after my video with Ona to do a video on my ghost stories. I had several requesting that. I'm like, yeah, I'm full of them. I got a lot of ghost stories. I was chit-chatting about it at the end. Here's Miss Roberta.
I thought she was.
Up to 300.
How do I pause this? This is going too fast. I could have sworn you had the little wrench by your thing too. There you go.
Larry's girl.
Hi, Lori.
Way of positive change. Is that Lori?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Larry girl. The like buttons always help.
Larry girl, can I make you a moderator too?
Dennis is asking if Puerto Rico will ever get statehood status. Not under the current Jinling Ghost Adventures. Yeah. Not under the current regime.
It should have happened a long time ago. They vote Democrat, so that would be the perfect.
Well, the stock market is, all the haves have virtually ruined Puerto Rico, ruined their economy. So, Becca, we have some questions from your pajama party with Johnny the other night.
Where are we at? 7:01. One more minute. Then we'll
if I had been watching it live, I would have called in because you were hitting on some stuff that we've picked up before or that I've thought about before. Hey, Ona.
Oh, this is hot.
forgot I was reading comments on YouTube. I had to come back to StreamYard. I was like, why is Johnny delayed saying it's hot? Speaking of hot, Diego, my tortoise we're going to read on later.
Okay, so we're going to start with Blumenthal. I hadn't heard this story.
Blumenthal, he's been working with the FBI and trying to, instead of being defensive against Russia for the 2020 election, he wants to get offensive and do stuff back to Putin that he's been doing to us, which is what I've been saying all along. Fight fire with fire. Just do the same thing back to him. So you guys were kind of hitting on it when you were reading with Becca the other night that someone was working with the FBI on something, and I'm like, I think this is Blumenthal's thing that he's pushing for. So let's see, will it affect Putin in his elections? Doing a little propaganda back his way. You know, false media stuff they want to do right back at him.
This is tea. Coffee gets colder faster for me, and I can't drink cold coffee, but I can drink cold tea.
Yeah.
So I had to get tea. Oh, I told a story on, this is by a little sidebar. Okay, I told the story about you getting your peppermint sticks to stir your cocoa.
Uh-huh.
I said, y'all know I can't do anything normal. I have to be extra, right? And so I went to the store to get peppermint sticks to stir mine too, and I got this. I got the biggest one they could possibly.
You know, I was just looking. Well, this box is empty because I've eaten them all. But at Christmas time, they sell these at Walgreens. So, you know, when they mark them down after Christmas, I go in and I buy all the boxes on the shelf because I drink hot chocolate almost every night. So Bub's Sweet Stripes, they're thicker sticks. They're not like little thin candy canes. And you swirl them in there and they melt and they give your cocoa a little bit of peppermint flavoring. Love those.
I bought the biggest giant one.
It keeps me from craving sweets at night. You know, just have a cup of hot chocolate at night instead of sweets. So Blumenthal, back with some propaganda. How's that going to work for Putin?
Because I did a reading on his opposition, and I said that there is a chance that guy can win if there is some sort of interference. And then I hear this story.
That's what y'all were reading on, because I was like, the interference is going to come from Blumenthal. Yeah, putting up the illusions, first card. Ooh, it's going to cause some anxiety. Surprise! Give everybody a different perspective. What comes around goes around. Dirty tricks right back at you through messaging.
Mm.
Yeah, burdens Putin overseas. Wow. It could cause him to retire.
Oh.
And have a different leader, because Putin always shows up as the King of Cups for me. I'm getting King of Wands. Yeah, put an end to Putin. Death card on top of that. That's like double whammy. What are you getting?
Thank you, Laurette. I got Queen of Pentacles. That's America right there. It's crossed by the Five of Wands. That's the card for bickering, fighting, and politics.
Dirty politics.
Below, I got Six of Pentacles. This is sharing information, time, money. And then I got the Four of Wands. So the plan's already off the ground, believe it or not.
And affecting their structure of their politics.
And there is messages for Putin, my foreign leader card, the Emperor. And there is sorrow and regret in his environment. The Six of Wands is in the fear position. This is the victory card. And then we have uncertainty and the hopes. And then in the end, we have a union and a cooperation. So there is indeed a effort to meddle overseas.
Because he's been messing in more than just our elections. So, yeah, let's ask this. Are other countries that have been messed with by Putin going to also do the same thing, like the UK?
And join in.
Yeah, or
there is a union with that Two of Cups. There is a cooperation. Let's see. Or other countries going to...
It should be a NATO thing. Trump talking about NATO and letting in countries that aren't in the northern hemisphere. He doesn't even understand that the North Atlantic is the North Atlantic Alliance. He's talking about countries that aren't even in the North Atlantic.
Will other countries interfere?
Ooh, new beginnings on the bottom.
What card was that?
Ace one.
Ace of Wands.
Beating Putin over the head with the Fred Flintstone card. Yeah, a form of defense for themselves. Again, causing anxiety right in the middle. New inspiration for security purposes. Cause confusion. Gaslight. Yeah, it could force Putin to exit, to be separated from his government.
Oh.
A happy family working together against Putin, the emperor.
And see, I get the politics, the Five of Wands again. It's crossed by the Ace of Cups, which is new partnerships, new relationships, new people coming in. I get the Tower and the Fool. So there is whatever this this foolish plan or beginning that he has is coming to an end. His influence over the Fool may be coming to an end. Then there is loss and transition. So I think, yes, there is absolutely a plan for other countries to interfere in Russia's elections.
Actually, my guides are just correcting me that Ten of Cups, happy family, and the emperor is a family of foreign leaders, a group of foreign leaders. They're correcting me. Wow.
Good mercy. Okay, well, let's do since we're on influence, let's do the prayer breakfast people.
Okay.
We'll start with Klobuchar. She just dropped out of the fellowship. Is it just called the fellowship?
Yeah, the fellowship, also known as the family, for anybody that watched Netflix or read the book. The guy who wrote the book has some great videos out there. She's dropping out of the National Prayer Breakfast because they have ties to Manafort's lobbyists, Igor and Lev. They have been sending people to Romania. You know, we keep talking about Giuliani in Romania. They've been sending Republicans to Romania for business purposes. They have all these ties to businesses, but it's through politics. So, they invited Lev and Igor. They bought their tickets to the National Prayer Breakfast last year, and now they're arrested. So why did Amy Klobuchar drop out? Is she getting smart, realizing what it's about? Because, see, the Democrats that have been in the prayer breakfast and all the presidents, Obama, Bush, all of them go to it because it's very difficult to say, no, I don't want to pray with you. Because then they think it's going to, look bad.
Thank you, Laurette.
Purely for entertainment purposes only about the fellowship. Yeah, and they claim they're not a conspiracy theory kind of thing because they're very transparent. But they have charity status, like a church. They have charity status, and yet they pay for all these political trips.
So we need to look at their 501c3 too.
Yeah. So Amy Klobuchar, why'd she drop out of the prayer breakfast? Well, she's holding the sword of truth on the bottom. She knows what they're about now. Yeah, the message they send around the world because they're working with a lot of foreign oligarchs here at the root. Dirty trick.
Thank you, Wendy.
dirty tricks, and they've been under investigation before for money laundering. There's suspicions that there's more money laundering going on, and here in the near future, I've got another investigation coming on them for things they've been doing a long time. It's going to tie them up. They're going to be in court again.
Now, they've taken donations from who with the money laundering?
With this card, I would say Russia, Saudis, and Turkey. They're all their ties to Manafort's lobbyists. That's who the main people are that Manafort covered. Yeah, they're going to... we're going to be seeing something swift happening with them. They're going to be investigated, and they're going to have to take a quieter stance.
Well, I get she drops because there is the Five of Swords. Here is some defeat, some anxiety too. There is a new action that had to be taken with the Knight of Wands. So I think she saw the writing on the wall. She may not have known who these people were, because if they come to you and they seem like a religious organization, then the first thing that pops to mind might be, oh, I can get the evangelical vote or something like that.
Yeah.
But there is, again, the Wheel of Fortune. There is a turning of fate in the Six of Swords. She found out more than she was comfortable with, and so she made a transition on. The Three of Wands and the Nine of Cups. She does not regret it. She may have some opposition, but she will never regret the decision, though.
They're 90% Republican. Chris Coons where's he from? Delaware. He's another one that's been in big with them because he likes to pray. He does a prayer thing every week in the Senate. And, like morning coffee and prayers. He's very religious, and these guys are just figuring out what the fellowship's about. They use them as the poster child of we're bipartisan, we're not partisan, and yet they're 90% Republicans.
Okay, let's look at their 503c.
501c3 or
501c3 and see if they'll
lose their status as a charity, because what they've been in trouble for before was like money laundering through the 501c3s. They keep transferring around. When you follow the paper trail, you realize, they're money laundering.
Like the NRA.
Yeah. They want to have a Christian state, but they also want Jesus to be like Hitler, to have the power Hitler had. What a comparison, right?
Oh, mercy.
We might need Ona's devil spray here in a minute.
Maybe what, unquestioned authority? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they want a... They don't want the separation of church and state. They want us to be a Christian state. So basically, they want Sharia law Christian style. They don't want Sharia law. They don't want Muslim law, but they are all for it if it's a Christian based on the Bible. Yeah, that's what they want. Instead of a constitution, they want biblical law. You'll do some research on the family, or the fellowship as they're known, the Fellowship Foundation. A lot of our viewers watch the Netflix series. They let them interview them. They were very open about it. So it's going to happen with their 501c3. What are you getting, Johnny?
I get 8 of Swords right off the bat. So
I've got that on the bottom. Ooh,
8 of Swords.
Stuck, jail time.
And then there's the Ace of Swords right below that, and then the Knight of Cups. So there is going to be some truth behind the mirage. The Six of Cups means that they're going to go in the past, maybe look at investigations, maybe look at people involved in the past. And then the Three of Wands means there's going to be a new outlook, or a new investigation, or a new plan of action of some sort. So for right now, all I get, because I only pulled 5 cards, they will have, and then the Nine of Swords. There will be a look into revoking their 501c3. It may not happen under Trump, but if Trump is not there long, it could happen pretty soon.
I'm getting an Adam Schiff vibe off this, that he might look into Here they are, with an abundance of ideas and stuff. They're sneaky. They have no problem with Trump because, if he's the chosen one, he'll serve their purposes, to let them do what they want. So it's about greed. And they've got, the sort of truth over, or the sort of power. It's not truth, it's power. They've got power behind them. There's moneyed news crowning them. And it has to do with money coming from overseas. And I'm getting Adam Schiff is going to look into the Republicans and the gaslighting and propaganda and what they're standing for. There's treachery involved here. And it's at the root of their foundation. It's going to be a big change coming for them.
Thank you, Linda. And I had one more. Eclectic Witch of Light. Thank you, and welcome to the chat.
Yes,
I think because Lori is saying, and they're trying to get attention. Lori is saying that missiles hit a Iraqi base today.
Like right now.
So if we have time, we'll go through that too. But the National Prayer Breakfast will be on February the 6th. Will anybody else drop out? Will people join in?
Like Coons and some of the other Democrats, a handful of Democrats. Will others drop out of this? Even some Republicans. Republicans are starting to fracture a little over this Iranian thing. It's interesting to watch. I got the card of defending on the bottom here.
Thank you, Michelle.
This is just big money. It's another big money organization. And that's their purpose, is like through big money to try to get a Christian state. Their challenge is losing their balance now. I've got something happening swift here in the foundation, and something that's going to be talked about them, because they're, they try to take the sword of truth and charge in. Something's going to be talked about with this National Prayer Breakfast, and it's in connection to Trump crowning the reading. So maybe Trump decides not to pray this year.
You just go for the breakfast.
I've got betrayal. I've got the bullying card. I've got trying to move forward but stuck. And then I get the devil showing up to pray. Shot time. Ona, spray me with your spray.
Well, the person who believes in God the most is the devil, because he experienced his power firsthand. There was
the devil in Trump.
Thank you, Debbie.
I'm going to say yes. Some more people are going to drop out, and it's probably more because of Trump and the bully pulpit that they're trying to be.
Because I get Temperance, my first card, and then the Page of Swords. So yeah, somebody is going to drop out. They're going to at the very least pull support, and Queen of Cups on the bottom. That is the support, and then there's the Hermit. So someone is going to isolate themselves, and this is probably there might be a little media attention along with that. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. They're still going to have it. Like, they're still going to go through with it. They're still going to do their thing because the Two of Cups is here. But the Moon and the Eight of Wands. Somebody's going to say something, and it might start some mess. because there is the Knight of Pentacles. This is someone hired or someone who is trying to deliver some sort of news or maybe a package or something of the sort. There is going to be some support being pulled back, but there's also going to be some truth being told too. Sad part is, if you saw the special, and like you said, they're transparent. They're not trying to hide who they are. So you're not really going to tarnish their image because it's already tarnished for those who believe it.
Because I'm getting Trump coming out and the devil. Let's ask what's going to happen with Trump at the prayer breakfast, because he usually goes.
He'll sit there until he's done eating, and then he'll probably spout some. I want to see him give a religious message. I wonder how that would go.
He's gonna snort Adderall and get up there and mispronounce words and quote from the Bible, and he can't even say the shortest verse in the Bible, which is Jesus wept.
Praises to Almighty Dog.
Yeah. Because we can't tell you right at anything anymore.
Oh.
I swear he was trying to say Telluride, Colorado, like a ski resort instead of tolerated. Telluride.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh, he's going to be the center of attention at it. Or let's see. Or he's going to be healed.
Thank you, Lourdes. I get Queen of Wands and 10 of Pentacles. There, if he gets to speak, it's going to be nothing but impeachment talk. That's all it's going to be. And Hangman, 10 of Wands, his burden and the thing that has him stuck, the thing that has him all the focus. And then there's 6 of Cups and the Empress. There's going to be something new coming out of that too, like brand new, like life brand new. I don't know. There's like both of these kids mean child, and I don't know what that means.
I got a really funny message here.
Go for it, because that's really wrong.
You know how Trump always tells on himself, like, well, what's wrong with me doing quid pro quo? He tells on himself. So here he is working together with them at the prayer breakfast. The challenge is he's going to tell the truth about something. What's he going to tell the truth about? Oh, he's going to tell the truth about the dirty deeds and who he's gotten money from, gifts of money from. Like, yeah, I got money from Russia and I've been laundering it. So what's wrong with that? I feel like, and then he gets justice and he gets hung up on his heels, and then he regrets opening everybody else regrets him opening his mouth. And then I get the devil again. Yeah. The devil's going to take over his mouth and he's going to tell on himself.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God.
They don't need anybody to testify ever again. Just give him the time to talk, and then he will tell everything.
Yeah, just give him a microphone and some Adderall. Oh my goodness.
So
how do we did they have any influence on Soleimani's death? They've got a lot of people of influence. Did they have any influence over Iran? Because people like Bolton, they've been wanting to go into Iran forever. And, all the lies about Iraq and going in there over the weapons of mass destruction, then there's nothing. Is this all coming from them? Are they spinning all this? Part of their agenda because they want to cause all kinds of conflicts in the Middle East. Bring on that war so Jesus can come back sooner.
I've never met. Why do all religious people can't wait to die? Like, Lord. And
yet you look at the worst ones and they live forever. I mean, look at Strom Thurmond. He lived forever and worked to like almost his last day on earth as a senator. The devil can't even control Trump. It's true.
This is true.
It was like, I give him back to you. You have me back. I'm done. I'm checking out. I get they're watching what's going on the bottom. They're watching it closely.
There might be, I don't think as a whole it was influence. I think there might be people within it that, because I mean, they're made up of a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of people support them and all that. Because I get Seven of Swords, which is interesting that it's a fox because this is the manipulator too. There is Seven of Swords, so there is something sneaky. Below that is the Eight of Pentacles. So I think they're connected with the family, but I don't think they are the family themselves, because they also give money to someone or someone gives money to them. So
I get the same message this way with they're working with the people with money.
Yeah, and then I get the High Priestess, so there's some secret there too. And then Death and Two of Swords. So there is a change around the manipulation, a change around the decisions. So I think it's just a money thing.
It's
money and influence.
Money and influence and stirring up the pot. You know, their challenge is who carries the money. It's all about trying to move forward with their agenda, you know, to get more money, and they are involved in the dirty tricks, manipulation. You know, the magician, it's manipulation. Wow.
Let's look at, so there was, no, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Bolton. Let's shift gears.
Yeah, Adam
I
Schiff.
almost called him Michael Bolton again. I always want to say Michael Bolton.
Yep. That's the singer.
John Bolton. John Bolton. I'll call him John Bolton.
We'll make a drinking game out of that. Every time he says Michael Bolton, take a shot.
Thank you, Mr. Deere. John Bolton says that he wants to testify. So we had two questions with that.
Yeah, Adam Schiff said that they might bring him into the Intel Committee to testify, subpoena him, which I'm curious, like, would it be on camera like all the other testimonies? Because they're still investigating. So will they get him, and will it be on camera, and will it lead to more articles of impeachment?
So let's start there, or we can see, because that kind of goes, it'll probably come out if we just do that
Yeah.
question, if Trump will try to block him or not. We'll see. Well, will they get him to testify? Will Trump, because he's spouting executive privilege, you know, that's how he does.
Be happy. Are you over in Australia? You're on your lunch break.
I think so.
Or is lunch late at night because you start your day late on the night shift? Adam Schiff, John Bolton. He's going to testify.
Hi, Footprints Tarot.
There's an action coming in.
Will they get him to testify?
Surprise, surprise. Good news.
I'm going to go with a yes. Thank you, Catherine.
Me too.
I got the media, I got the world, and then I got Adam Schiff crossing in with the King of Cups. There's a Five of Pentacles. This is an attempt to I did a reading on, I'm gonna call him anyway, Michael Bolton, because for whatever reason, that's the first name that wants to come out. I'm gonna just start saying Bolton, but I can't stop saying Michael Bolton. So Michael Bolton is going, is going to. I did a reading on him because I get the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Wands, which means he wants to push out and fight. He does not like Donald Trump because Donald Trump ousted him, and he feels very, very bruised and wounded that he didn't get to start his war. Like, you took my plans and then you started it without me. So he feels very, very just wounded because I get the Five of Wands, Five of Cups, Judgment, and Six of Swords. So he is ready to talk. And I think it's going to be a crap show and wonderful for Michael Bolton and John Bolton.
Yeah, both of them. I've got good news, surprise. The challenge is getting the plan, getting the subpoena. I've got Adam Schiff here at the root. And there's great anxiety here in the past about Bolton testifying, that nobody's wanted him to testify. He's going to, crowning the reading, he's going to get into things that they've done over and over again. He causes burden, he causes infighting. He's the center of attention, and he could be another article of impeachment going to the Senate. One more article. One more.
Got that Six of Swords too. Hi, Ganga.
One more support. Because you know how you see kings as like the first and queens as the supporting. One more supporting article. That's what I'm getting.
Good for him.
Gangatero, are you here? Where in the world is Gangatero?
She was in Arizona getting Mexican food the last time I seen.
We're trying to keep up with you. Or Ganga, I should say.
Where in the world is Gangatero?
Gangatero. I always say your name wrong the first time, and then I catch myself and say it right. Gangatero.
Okay. Trump versus Matt Gaetz. Speaking of executive privilege. So Matt Gaetz has voted with his fellow Republicans, some of them, on the War Resolution Act. What was it called? War Powers Act.
Yeah.
Something like that. So they're trying to basically limit Donald Trump's war powers.
They had 3 Republicans vote with the Democrats on that.
Yes, and Matt Gaetz is one of them. And Matt Gaetz is a licensed butt kisser. So does Trump not like him anymore? Because Trump loves his loyalty. You break it once, he hates you forever. And then he tries to humiliate you.
Ganga's in Las Cruces. Am I saying it right?
Las Cruces, where is that?
Is that New Mexico or Arizona? New Mexico, isn't it? New Mexico. Thank you, Linda.
Matt Gaetz is scared of his base, which is the military.
Matt Gaetz and Trump. Are they having a little falling out? Pissed off over this. He goes to Russia, but he's pissed off at Trump and the war stuff.
I'm getting nothing with Trump. I'm getting all Matt Gaetz. Let's see. Let's keep going here. I don't think this had anything to do with Trump. I think this was an appeal to, like, the comment I just seen. Something about the base. At least that's what pops up for me. I don't get Trump at all. Like, I get Six of Pentacles. This is money, probably donations or something like that. There's strength around maybe a, what do you call it, lobbyist. Mm-hmm. Then I get the stars, Six of Wands. So there's victory for the future, Eight of Swords, and justice. So trying to bind power. Knight of Swords, which is the chaos. So binding power around chaos. And then the King of Pentacles in the outcome. I don't see Trump, though.
I don't see Trump either. I've got Nancy Pelosi on the bottom, but I think it's about donors as well as his constituents. Like, he's burdened right now, and he's confused. He's trying to be, the emperor, to put down what he believes, but he's stuck. And his confusion is causing confusion in the government. But then I get, the King of Pentacles, the money behind it. He's not accepting what's offered. I feel like he's had some money threatened from donors, so he's stuck. He's all hung up. I don't get Trump.
I don't either.
He's facing losing his next race, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, Salome says he has a anti-war base. Okay, I believe it because that's what I see. Well, speaking of senators, Sean Hannity said that he's threatening to release the phone numbers of senators who vote to allow witnesses for the impeachment trial. So my question is, will Sean Hannity's mouth write a check his ass can't cash? Will he eventually say enough to become investigated or to get fired or to get ousted? Like, will he get any repercussions on the things that he says? Will it lead to some sort of investigation? Because yes, everyone has free speech in the United States, but you don't have consequence-free speech. So everything you says has a consequence.
It's kind of like, Trump riling up people to go shoot and kill, Democrats and stuff. It's like when they all start getting the pipe bombs and stuff.
Like Sarah Palin, and when she did that, release some little thing that had crosshairs on people, and then the senators got shot, and then she had to walk that back. It was the Gabby Giffords thing.
Should have been locked up. It's called inciting a riot. He's getting an offer he doesn't like. Let's see. Might be asked to come testify. What do you know?
Mm-hmm. I do get my very first card is sharing information.
I get death first card. Big change for him coming.
Like, what does this mean for Sean Hannity? Death.
All dark and ominous.
Oh, Lord.
His challenge is investigators. That's my investigators card. Tower at the root of this. Go break him up. Treachery here in the past that he's done. You're going to burden the crap out of him. I see lawsuits. He's going to get strung up for ties to foreign leaders, including Putin. He could face some jail time. He's going to be put on the defense.
So he's
and then guess who shows up again? Drink.
I got sharing information, and King of Swords is what crosses that. So there's your Donald Trump. And then Two of Pentacles. So there will be, with the Lover's card, there is an imbalance to the relationship. So this is not something he should be directly involved in, which we know he is. And then the bad news comes around Judgment and the Magician. The Magician for me sometimes are lawyers and attorneys. So there will be a court case for him. So yes, he will at some point face
lawyers and attorneys are the great manipulators.
Mm-hmm. And then I get the Sun in the outcome. So yes, he will face some judgment because of foreign leaders and burden. I get the Emperor and the Ten of Wands too.
Ona just sprayed me again for my debit card.
So speaking of attorneys, the Defense Secretary says that he hasn't seen any evidence that Iran was going to attack 4 U.S. bases.
Yeah, somebody in the Defense Department hasn't seen any evidence.
And so Donald Trump's whole spiel for taking out Soleimani, and there was a second strike too, that one was unsuccessful. So is there any evidence anywhere that said Iran was going to attack us?
attack our embassies, which is the story as of today. The story is 4 of our embassies were going to be attacked.
Because
and the next person to get fired will be the defense secretary, deputy.
if you if you went and took out their military leaders and then tried to take out the second in command, where's your evidence? And if there isn't any, then what happens?
Graham says it was the best evidence ever, and other people are saying it was the worst briefing ever. We're going to read on him, too.
You know, that sounds like something Trump would say. This is the best evidence ever.
Yeah.
There's never been evidence more better than this.
I just keep expecting him to start stumbling over his words because his eyes are so freaking red.
So is there any evidence?
Is there any evidence that Soleimani, not just Iran, Soleimani himself was going to lead strikes on 4 embassies, U.S. embassies? I get a no right there on the bottom.
I get a no too, but I think it's going to be created. There's something. Okay. So
they're going to manipulate something to look like evidence.
Yes. There is, I get 7 of wands on the bottom too, but I get the cups, the 7 of cups right here. There's a confusion. There is a, the gaslight, the whole bit, the whole hazy, everything. And then I get the Knight of Fire, which tells me creation, the creation of something through an action. The Page of Swords and the Chariot. In order to get to the victory, there is a delay. So they don't have it yet, and then I get the Fool and Strength. So this is meant for Donald Trump. This involves him directly. I said if I get this, the Fool, it involves him directly. It involves him directly. So they're having a little powwow about how to create evidence.
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing because I got, blocked on the bottom like they have nothing. And I've got the sneaky things right in the middle, and it's a betrayal. It's a lie. They're fighting about it. I feel like this is Soleimani was walking away. He wasn't going to attack. He was walking away. He was supposedly there to negotiate some sort of peace thing. But like he was walking away from the embassies. But greedy Trump here on top is spreading lies here in the government. And he's going to produce something. He's going to have something tangible. He's going to produce, and it's all going to be a lie. It's going to be a lie.
It's a damn shame.
False documents. So let's ask, will somebody find out that it's false documents? They're trying to do the same thing with Biden's son, They're trying to produce false documents on him. By the way, Hillary's last lawsuit got dropped finally, all investigations. They can't find anything on her.
Is that what you're getting, Ganga? Is that it's going to be made up?
So will somebody prove that it's made up? Will intelligence services or somebody prove it's made up, or defense? Will we have a whistleblower? Somebody's going to talk. It's right on the bottom. Somebody's going to talk. Trump's going to tell on himself. He's going to say, I made it up. Look, I made up these documents. Blah, 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 blah.
There will be a speech. It will have, it will be somewhat emotional with the Page of Water, but there will also be, it will be supported by something, which is where the false crap comes in. The Hermit and the 3 of Wands, there will be attention drawn to Soleimani, but it is still false, and the truth will come out. Now, will it affect anything? I don't know, but the truth will come out.
I'm getting it's a betrayal too, and it's it's lies. but there is a circle of support around him that's going to support it within our government. But I do have somebody's already looking into it here in the past. There's already someone investigating to see, like, where's the proof? Where's the proof? It's already being investigated. I'm getting something will be produced in the future concerning Trump and a foreign leader, and how they plan to move forward. They're going to get hung up on it. Somebody's going to bring it out, and it feels like an investigator.
So, U.S. said they're going to sanction Iran, and Yoda had a question to know, what is Iran's next move? So, since we tried to attack 2 of their military leaders and killed one of them, and now we're going to impose sanctions, what is their next move?
And they've got protesters right now over shooting down the airplane.
And Trump says, don't be violent to your protesters or we will retaliate.
First of all, they had more people out for Soleimani's funeral than Trump had at his inauguration. Now they've got more protesters out than they had at Trump's inauguration. I'm going to feel some envy here on the side of Trump here shortly. He'll start doctoring his photos with pictures of Iran. Look at all the people that came to my rally.
What's their next move?
Well, it involves money, delivering money.
Oh.
That's what it's all about anyway.
We'll do more cards on this one.
I tell you, there are 3 countries that are steering them, because I keep getting like 3 of cups, 3 of pentacles around them, and I feel like it's Putin, the Saudi prince, and Turkey. What's his name? Erdogan. Thank you. I can never say his name. I've got their going to show power, but their challenge is to do something that's inspired. Who's it inspired by? Trump.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, they just said since Trump broke the Iran nuclear deal, they said they're doing away with the other little remnants of it, and they may refocus on their thing, all because of him.
Yeah, because they want to put the lid on the emotions in America. This is my America card. They want to put the lid back on the emotions here, but then there's Trump here, the fool, something he's involved in here in the future with foreign leaders. Whatever they're going to do, it's not clear. It won't be transparent who's behind it, but it's going to be Trump and a foreign leader behind it. It will be a show of strength, but it'll be smaller. It won't be the King of Swords. It'll be a smaller show of strength. It all comes down to money. It's all about money. It'll be something similar to what they've already done. So, like bombing us, but warning us, so that bombing, the missile attack was more about shooting the plane down than it was about shooting at our military bases.
They sent, speaking of that, they sent mortars at U.S. bases or rockets or something like that. No one was hurt. No one was killed, is all the Pentagon would say. But they did send some. It was either Iran or Iraq, one of the two. But I get the Tower and the 8 of Swords, so there will be a declaration of some sort. So there is the messages here, and then maybe something damaging here. So there might be some form of retaliation because the sun does cross those two. This is not going to be in secret. This is not some surprise attack. This is saying we will do X, Y, and Z. They may not tell you exactly what they're going to do, but they're going to tell you they're going to do something. With that Three of Cups and secret. So those three people, those three countries, they are meeting in secret. And then I get the King of Swords and the Two of Swords. It is about Trump. He is involved somehow, some way. I don't think they know where he stands. Iran, for some reason, I don't know if he's either working with some people over there and they're all talking or what, but they don't know where he stands. The foreign leader is in the fear. And these are, he is a part of that three. Then the 10 of Pentacle, the legacy or the GOP is in the hopes. They hopes that they will go along with whatever in retaliation to whatever Iran's going to retaliate against or with. The Four of Cups and the Page of Water. There is, because this was a surprise attack on them, they figured we need to do the same thing. And I think, again, they might target military. And so this is not a pill that would be easy to swallow for the Trump administration because they started this. The word of warning is night. I don't get moon traditional meanings. I heard the word night. So this is going to be something they're going to launch in secret at nighttime.
Yeah, I get the moon on that too.
And then I get the Judgment in the world. There will be a completion to this. It will play out on the world stage, or the media will hear about it, and it will be about resurrection or a retaliation for the past.
Yeah,
so
there's a hidden agenda with this, though, that involves money. So let's ask: was it a surprise, or did they set up Soleimani to be a martyr?
See, and that's where I get that they don't know where Trump stands. Like, there is something else. This is not just they attacked him and then that's it. There's like a back channel of something greasy and disgusting here too.
Yeah, like they gave up Soleimani, and then Putin tells them to shoot down the plane. That there was no U.S. military loss or none of our allies, no lives lost, but they shot down a plane. Ona and I, when we read on that, and I think you said you read on that too, that it looked like they were targeting a couple of people on that plane was the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm.
So was this a surprise when Soleimani was killed? I do think Trump was trying to have his Obama moment, like Osama bin Laden, but he didn't have the right to. Obama had permission through the 2001 9/11 stuff through Congress that they could go after any perpetrators that were involved in 9/11, which Osama bin Laden was. Trump had no authorization from Congress to go after Soleimani, so Iran, no.
Because it just seems like this is a back channel to something else. Like this is meant to have a butterfly effect.
I got Sword of Truth on the bottom. That tells me, yes, they knew there was going to be a change, something fast, an attack, and they're just kind of hanging on. There's something sneaky about it. So it's a whole network involved. I'd say, yeah, they knew. Sword of Truth on the bottom.
Yeah, I get that secret again, secret in transition. Yes. And then I get the first two cards I get is Temperance working together and then Two of Cups working together. This is...
It wasn't a surprise.
Yes and yes.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise. They worked with, like, you get Soleimani, we'll get the plane. You guys do this, I'll do that.
Yeah. Lord.
Like, what will Iran do next? Whatever Putin wants them to do.
Because this is all of this is scripted.
Yep.
I don't think I think surprise. We can take surprise out of the equation now. Scripted to do what?
I think mostly, because like Trump pulls us out of Syria. Who goes in there first with Turkey? Russia. Who's giving the missiles to Iran? Russia. It's all Russia. If you read Rachel Maddow's book, it's been known for years. He wants all those ports and everything for oil because he doesn't have that many, ports in Russia to get oil out of there, and his trade routes and stuff. It's been well documented for the last 15, 20 years. That's his ultimate goal, besides breaking up other countries and trying to get Russia pulled back together.
Yep, stuff.
Anybody that hasn't read Blowout, read Blowout. It'll blow your mind.
Stuff. This is, and this card that chooses the reading. It's like international commerce, a person hanging on to something, trying to get all they can with that 4 of Cups or 4 of Pentacle.
Greed.
There is a man at the top who seems to be untouchable because he has the strength here, but there's always an inside to something. Interesting. I wonder if Spirit will tell me this. Is Vladimir Putin the most dangerous man in the world?
I would probably say yes, because I got, here they are trying to move forward. The challenge is greed, trying to do the changes that Putin wants. And that's done through violence and quick action and breaking everything up. And, they're working for Putin. They're working with the devil. Putin is somehow making them feel like they're going to get to higher ground, because their economy has been rough. And again, greed, hanging on to the money, 4 of Pentacles. Sneaky stuff for Putin. I hate to say everything's related to Putin, but
he's in everything.
Is Trump the Antichrist? Why don't they ask, is Putin the Antichrist? My God, he's killed more people. Anybody that runs against him.
I get the Magician, the World, and the King of Swords in one line. And he is a Libra, I believe.
I thought he was a Gemini.
Yeah, I think so. Still an air sign.
So air sign. He's a Gemini, I think.
And then I get messages, Knight of Cups, Judgment, and Chariot in one line too. I think what it's saying is, while he is dangerous, the most dangerous person in the world is a person who can brainwash millions. So if those who are waiting for the Antichrist, because for whatever reason you think he's just going to be so magnificent because he ushers in the end of the world, that would be the most dangerous person in the world, the person who can convince 99% of the people of one thing. Because I get messages, Knight of Cups, which is the Mirage. Then I get the 8 of Swords crossing the Knight of Cups, which is entrapment. And then Judgment and Chariot, which has to do with something on the other side. So some sort of spiritual leader or spiritual teacher that can convince you to drink the Kool-Aid because nirvana awaits you. That would be the most dangerous person in the world. But I still got at the top of the reading, his influence, his power is what's also dangerous about him.
Yeah, his money, his power, his element of surprise, his manipulating of money, and his money network, and illumination coming on that. He causes anxiety. He's got a sense of nostalgia for Russia, wanting to pull the mother country back together.
Because they say even he's a puppet for the oligarch, so I guess he wouldn't be like completely untouchable as long as he does their bidding. Oh Lord. Okay, so sanctions done, Iran done. Okay, so I kept seeing this in the comments, so we'll do these two.
Okay.
What would it take for the Republicans to stop backing Trump, and when will that Sharpie run out of ink?
That was my question after watching you and Becca, where you kept talking. You and Becca were talking about, he's just a Sharpie. He's just a Sharpie. And I was like, when's the Sharpie going to run out of ink? What will it take for the Republicans to stop backing Trump? We're already seeing a little fracturing, but only on the war stuff, the war powers. What will it take to get them to stop backing him?
Because everything is right there. And you would think at some point they would all just say, you know what, let's get rid of him because he's making us look bad. The one bad apple is spoiling the bunch, even though they have a bunch of bad apples. But you would think they would try to get away from him come hell or high water. But what's it going to take?
Well, I have the bullying card on the bottom, or the dishonor card. So whatever it is, if Trump bullies them back, because they all have freaking egos out the wazoo, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you've never seen so many egos. So it's going to take Trump bullying them about something that gets their back against the wall. He hasn't bullied them yet. I basically get, they're going to be immature about this, because right now it's all about strength and money. It's all about power and money. So as long as as power and money is in balance with Trump, they'll continue to support him. When it gets out of balance, when they're not getting their money, that's when they feel the loss, and that's when they try to string him up on his heels, and there's the devil. That's when they get riled up, and that's when they'll circle the wagons. 3 of muses, 3 of cups.
That is exactly what I got. There is the King of Cups and the Burden and the 10 of Pentacles. That's my GOP. That's the Burden. That's Mitch McConnell, whoever's more supportive in the party at the time. And as long as this is America, and then as long as the money is okay, but once the money is uncertain, as in you waiting on your crops to grow, you're never quite sure. Even though you got the healthiest this and the healthiest that, you're never sure what you're going to get. As long as the crops keep coming in as expected, then they'll be fine. But if he starts to mess with their money, then he's got to go.
So when's the Sharpie running out of ink? Will it run out of ink before he writes up his proof that there were going to be attacks on 4 embassies, or is it running out afterwards? When's the Sharpie running out of ink? My guides are just telling me a really funny message. You know how, like, if you lie about something, like, you get a bad taste in your mouth, especially if you get caught in it, but just, even if you don't get caught in it, if you lie about something, the normal person gets a bad taste in their mouth and it doesn't sit well in your stomach. Can you imagine Trump trying to eat all his lies? How upset his stomach would be if he had
tastes good now.
When's the Sharpie running out of ink? He's got a lot of karma coming on him right now, as of today and tomorrow, in his astrology, hitting his karma line.
Oh yeah, because I get 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands, and the Lovers. So there is about to be a pull on him that I don't think he's quite prepared for. This may take because I get Sorrow in the Tower as well. That's one violent looking tower. And then he has an ending coming that will be sudden. but it's not sudden as in no one saw it coming, because these things you can see coming. You can see the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Wands coming, but the burden of it, the weight of it, uh, he can't take. There's going to be a pull on him to do something he's not prepared to do. And so I think very soon this Sharpie is running out of ink, literally.
Yeah, I'm getting, his lies. Here he is, the little liar. Out in the cold from his money. So he's looking for money. He's wondering where his next paycheck's coming from and strength on that. He's more concerned about his money and his financial security. So he's like toddler in chief. Things are getting ready to change and coming on him swiftly because he can't get to his money. He's more concerned about his money. He's going to be packing his bags and going.
Now, let me also say, because I see what you're saying, please be right. I'm not saying he's leaving office. I'm saying that his power is waning.
Yeah.
And thus, they're setting up for him to leave office.
And he owes the Russian oligarchs who backed his loans to Deutsche Bank. It was known SVB Bank, a Russian bank, backed all those. Well, that's Russian oligarchs. He owes them millions, if not billions. And he can't get to what money he's got. He doesn't have anything, so...
Well, let's talk about another billions. Eric Prince, you said that you wanted to look and see if he was involved somehow?
Yeah, with what's going on in Iran. Because he likes to go around and train other countries on how to fight. Barilla DeVille's brother, Eric Prince. He's been very quiet lately, but he was in the Seychelles Island meeting with the Russian oligarchs and stuff. Came up in Mueller's report. We all knew it. It came out before we saw it in Mueller's report. It's like we all know everything that was in that report. We know everything else that Trump's done. It's just what is going on with Eric Prince? What did he know? Tower. I feel like he knew about the plane crash. Because his old friends are involved. Somebody's getting ready to shine a light on him. Justice coming on him. I think he's going to get an offer to testify about his work he's done. He's watching and waiting right now on the bottom.
There is I get 3 of Swords crossed with the Death card. So betrayal and a change.
Got the Death card too.
And then there is a 2 of Pentacles with the imbalance, and then a Queen of Pentacles, which is my card for America. Then there's a 3 of Wands, an overseas outlook, and then security or something about land, or maybe even
Yep.
Oil or riches?
Yeah, security.
Maybe this
And his
is,
work is involved.
and see, that's what I was going to go to. Maybe this is something about an investment. Like, okay, we're going to pull off this great scheme. It's going to take a war to do it. I'll put in some money. This person will put in some money. That because I don't think this is this. I used to use this card for America, but I don't think this is America. This is a person. And there's also money and riches, or something to do with land and oil. This is something to do with overseas. There's an imbalance here, and then there is a death and a betrayal.
Secrets that he's trying to cover up.
So who rules Iran?
The Ayatollah.
So did he betray Soleimani? Is he in on this too? I mean, that sounds very conspiratorial, but
that's why when we were reading on, was Iran aware?
then got a yes.
And we got a yes.
Because this is all a business arrangement for Eric Prince. Like, he didn't shoot the rocket, but he put some money in.
He's making some money off the war machine, probably, or going to make some money off the oil or something.
Because what does he do? He's in weapons manufacturing or something like that.
Y'all help me. What was the name? I can't think of the name of his company. It got Blackwater and all that stuff. That was him. He goes around and he works with other countries to try to teach them how to fight. War strategy, I guess you'd call it.
Lord. Okay. Well, move on from him.
He definitely seems involved.
So let's go. Let's switch gears. We'll go to Justice Roberts.
He doesn't have a lot of power in a Senate trial, in an impeachment trial. You know, most of it's up to McConnell and what he does. But let's see how Justice Roberts going to conduct himself in a trial. Is he going to have some power? Will he be able to put his foot down about some things? Or is he just going to have to take a back seat?
So that's what I feel, GM Dave, that the Ayatollah, I don't think it's him. I think it's kind of like Trump. Trump didn't know about this either. I mean, he didn't know how to even say Soleimani.
Yeah.
He's just the Sharpie. Somebody else playing, and he said, okay, I'll be Obama. You know, I'll have my Obama moment, so go for it. Oh, Lord. Anyway, Justice Roberts.
Got the Page of Swords on the bottom. That tells me he'll be a smaller judicial figure. He's not the King of Swords. He's not the Queen of Swords. I'm getting he's going to be a small role.
I get the world, so it's like a bigger picture. It's bigger than him.
Yeah. He's going to have a very small role in it. He's got anxiety about it. His challenge is to keep things balanced and fair. Yeah. Didn't have to be a psychic to know that, right? Because there's a man of authority at the root of this in the Republican Party at crowning. So, you know, this is McConnell and the Republican Party. They've got the power. So he's basically there just in appearance. You know, it's just image. Like he's there in appearance. There is going to be something that changes, though, in this trial, because I'm getting the Tower and secrets coming out. Something surprising coming out. something's going to break. You know, Trump's going to open his big mouth, like in the middle of it or something, and some breaking news during the impeachment trial.
Yeah, I get person in their robe, the security person. So this is him, but he has the hangman. So there isn't like he doesn't have long reach.
Yeah,
Because it's like something is caught up. This is the Seven of Pentacles and then the Three of Wands. There is whatever plans, whatever authority he may have is limited somehow, some way. The message isn't work, so he can be a mouthpiece, but I think that's about it. I don't see a doing of anything.
not really a man of action in this case because he doesn't have the power.
Well, speaking of power, let's look at Bloomberg.
Yeah, Bloomberg, he contributed $100 million to himself, and he's not in the debate, in the next debate.
He has everybody's sort of outspent Donald Trump, but Donald Trump gets free press anyway. He spent about $5 million on ads, and Bloomberg, well, let's say Buttigieg, he spent like 10 million. And then Bloomberg has spent like 146 million or something like that on ads.
Yeah.
And he's not in the debate at all. And so I think he said that if he loses, he'll still keep his money in the primary or something like that.
To support whoever's going up against Trump.
Yes.
Yeah, he did say that. There's some question about whether some of the people like Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren who are doing ground roots, if they would take money from him because they're trying to do grassroots movement.
Like, I hate to say it, but because I understand that you don't have to be your brother's keeper. No one's going to make you. But you could have used that $146 million to do some good in the world and not buy ads.
Yeah.
Spend 20 million like, Buttigieg and them other people. They spent 10. If you just double theirs, okay, you spent 20.
Buy a new pair of shoes for all the homeless people in the world,
For God's sakes. I mean, you have enough money to give everybody in America $1, and you did. I mean, anyway, Bloomberg. What are we asking? Is this going to fare well for him?
He's got a plan. He's still charging in. His astrology actually looks very strong when I've seen stuff on his astrology.
Judge Judy is backing him too. She was on The View talking about it. She supports Bloomberg. Because they see him as a get it done kind of guy, they keep saying.
It's a kind of sneaky strategy showing that, he'll support like whoever goes up against Trump. It's kind of a, like we're one big happy family. There's something sneaky about it. Here he is with all the money, putting it into whoever the star is. And there's a little bit of an illusion about why he's doing it. What is it, a tax write-off or something? I'm like trying to figure out why is it an illusion?
Maybe he's buying a position in the administration, whoever it is.
He's kind of stuck right now. He's trying to act like he's the supportive king, but he's kind of stuck right now. Why is it an illusion? It's a manipulation of some kind. It's kind of a, I'm getting foreign leaders in Russia. It's kind of a manipulation of them. Like he's trying to send a message to them. Like, okay, go ahead and bombard us with all your crappy ads. I'm just going to spend millions to counteract all those crappy ads.
And he had that money in his sofa cushions. Like that was nothing for him to spend 146 million.
Yeah, he's going to drive foreign leaders crazy. He's going to it's kind of like his way of doing a Blumenthal. He's going to counteract the world by funding all this money against Trump.
Mm.
That's what I'm getting.
Well, I get America here. And then I get the Ten of Wands. There's this is a hard work or a burden of some sort. Next to it is the Hangman and the Five of Swords. Then next to that is the Lovers. I think that after because he can see his impending defeat. I mean, I don't think he really believes he's going to win, but he is gaining alliance. And there is a total loss in the end, so I don't think he's going to win. But it's next to Justice and the Nine of Wands. So I think he's trying to buy himself a position in the administrations, whoever's it is. And he's putting enough money into this to just ensure that they probably defeat Trump, no matter what. What I would like him to do is use that money to make sure people are still registered. That's what I would like.
Yeah. Like some of this gerrymandering and registration, and go buy some voting machines like Ivanka did and Mitch McConnell did. Yeah, go buy some voting machines and make sure we got some that aren't rigged.
Well, speaking of voting, the story about binding the vote to the popular vote.
Oh, that's the Supreme Court is hearing a case on the faithless electors. In Washington State, there were 3 people who voted for Colin Powell instead of Hillary, even though the election should have gone to Hillary in those districts. They put their faithless elector vote in for Colin Powell, who wasn't even running. And they got fined for it, for not following the popular vote. So the Supreme Court's going to hear a case on it and decide whether the states can bind the vote to the state's popular vote winner. Because technically, faithless electors, they sort of have free will to, vote for whoever. These guys apparently did not want to cast a vote for Trump, but they hampered Hillary by not voting for Hillary. So crazy. So how's the Supreme Court case on faithless electors going to go? Will they support that the states can hold them to tying the popular vote to the faithless electors? In which case you don't need faithless electors, just say it. This goes to the popular vote.
Oh, mercy, there's 1,200 people in here.
Everybody's back from vacation. Back from the holidays.
Huh. This is a bipartisan thing for some reason. I get a King of Pentacles, King of Cups, and in the middle I get Justice. And then next to Justice, I get the Past with the Six of Cups, and then politics, debating and fighting. So there will be at least a conversation. So we will have at least a conversation about it.
I'm getting a yes that they're going to support the states to bind it to the popular vote. I got the Sun card. That's a yes card. Sword of Truth. That's a yes card. Ace of Swords, and the Star card. Look at the two major arcana. It's a big deal. It's going to get a lot of attention, but they're going to tie it to they're going to say it's okay for the states to tie it to the popular vote, which is how it should be.
Yeah, I get 2 sides there, 2 sides coming together.
Yeah, they need to also get rid of the Electoral College to begin with and just do popular vote, right?
As of yesterday. Lord.
The Supreme Court's also hearing 3 cases in March on Trump blocking the release of his financials to Congress as well as the New York investigators. Mm-hmm. They're hearing 3 cases in March. Should we take a quick gander at them since we're on the Supreme Court?
Let's see.
Is Trump going to release is the Supreme Court going to force Trump to release his financials in March? Originally, they were saying they wouldn't look at it till like June, but it's on the docket for March. Yeah. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is cancer-free. I keep telling you guys, every time I do health readings on her, she is fine. She's going to be there till Trump's gone. She's going to wait for the next president before she retires. She's going nowhere. Keep her in the healing circle, though. Supreme Court, Trump releasing financials. Will he have to release them?
Meanwhile, I just had to do my taxes. I did mine yesterday. Guarantee you I paid more than he did. He paid nothing.
I'm getting a yes.
Me too. I still get a delay,
Mm-hmm.
but its delay is in the
Minor.
Supreme Court. It's winding down because
Mm-hmm.
I get the world card in the end.
Yeah, it's going to cause anxiety for Trump because of, his money laundering corruption is going to come out. He's going to have to produce his taxes. I get success with that, and the sword of truth on it, yes card. It's going to show how he's manipulated and messed around with them. This is also cooperation, so I feel like they're going to, have a majority vote on it. Dishonor with Trump and heartbreak. Yeah, hitting the White House. Get ready, Trump. You're gonna have to show your taxes in around March.
Justin Amash. Now he has come out against Donald Trump. He was the only one at the time to actually read the Mueller report too.
Yeah, he left the Republicans. He's now independent. He's come out and said that it was abuse of power for Trump to kill Soleimani because he didn't have authorization from Congress. So will they add another impeachment article to abuse of power for killing Soleimani? Just keep doing stuff, Trump. It's one more article every time. Might get some Republicans to vote on that since we had some that voted on the war powers.
Will he be successful?
They have another article of impeachment. The Star, this is going to gather a lot of attention. It's going to bring some anxiety for Trump, too. Ace of Pentacles, there's a yes card producing something, victory. Yeah, I think there's another article of impeachment. Yeah, offering another article of impeachment, justice. What are you getting?
I get like this is already, he's meeting behind the scenes, the Three of Wands and the High Priestess and the Lovers. Like he's already got some people he's meeting with. There is sorrow, regret, and the Temperance. There's like some people feel as though their support for Donald Trump has been in vain. And so now they're backing these articles of this and the war powers that, and like they're trying to, in dribs and drabs. I said the Republicans are going to turn him a long time ago. In dribs and drabs, they're coming out and saying, okay, enough is enough. Okay, he almost killed everybody in the world because of this. And okay, so yeah, Justin Amash is just a public name, but it's definitely going on behind the scenes. But speaking of power, Sinclair Broadcasting. They own pretty much media, just media.
Especially all the local news.
Everything that, all your local news stations and all of this is more than likely owned by Sinclair Broadcasting. So the question is, will they ever be broken up?
They're very right wing. Like you have to say scripted things that they have that they're for You can't go be doing investigations on your own too much anymore.
So all your local stations could do different types of stories, but they're owned by a conglomerate that says you can only say this, or
Yeah.
you cannot do stories on that. And it's like, this is why when I was doing the reading last night with Becca and Yoda, we were talking about schools. And Terry, quit cursing. And then the schools have textbooks that are bought by certain companies, and whatever they choose to put in those textbooks is what your children are going to learn. So you're not going to get Hispanic history and Black history and Asian history and Native American history. You're going to get George Washington was, and then from there. So Sinclair.
Will they be broken up? Ooh, an ending on the bottom.
Oh, mercy. So I got the Emperor, which is power, and the Two of Wands. There's some shakeup here. And then the Government, and then the Ace or the Page of Swords. There is someone very close, very in the government. Interesting. Like new life in the government that takes a look at this, because there is the Hangman. This is the new perspective, and it, of course, is around the devil. But there is, I didn't expect that, because this is a big thing. Like Sinclair Broadcasting is like the Walmart of media. You can't just go in and weaken them, but it looks like somebody's going to try.
I think so too. I've got, the Happy Family, which is also the Republican card, but surprising, going after the big business. Somebody's working on it. It's going to take time, but they're going to whittle them down to size. So like going from King of Pentacles to the Knight, they're going to have a transition. Somebody's going to beat them over the head. I'm getting a yes card with that too. New inspiration. It's going to be sneaky how it's done. So probably like as they try to bust up like Facebook and Google and some of those big guys, that's the Elizabeth Warren agenda. As they try to work on some of those big conglomerates, they'll throw Sinclair fall into it, probably because of how much they're worth. Any company worth over this.
So it's like, okay, because for instance, Elizabeth Warren planned to break up like something like Amazon, or to weaken Amazon. The way she explains it is Amazon can be a conduit for all your stuff. They can be the person who delivers all your crap. But they have to give an equal footing to everyone who sells something. So if Amazon sells ink pens and I sell ink pens, they can't put mine on page 23 and theirs on page 1. They have to give everybody a fair shake based upon popularity or supply and demand. And so you can't have your store being first and being the only people that send stuff out and all these other little bitty things. It's like, so you have to level the playing field. She's not saying they can't be a store, but you can't push your store ahead of everybody else's.
I was just flashing on the Trump Sharpie brand.
I'm surprised he didn't get one.
I just flashed on a Trump Sharpie brand, like it's all dried up. It doesn't work. He's only worked 1 day or 4 days out of 5 because he's off golfing.
So that's interesting. So you said Summer. I explain this.
Oh yeah, Summer Zervos. She's the she worked in media And she's the one that Trump supposedly attacked. And she was married at the time and stuff. She had a husband and everything. She claimed Trump assaulted her. She had friends who were willing to testify, that if she wanted to go to court, that this really happened. It was back in the 1990s, I believe. Well, Trump called her a liar. So she now has a defamation of character lawsuit against Trump. So it's the first lawsuit that will show, yes, you can indict a sitting president. She got the go-ahead in New York to proceed with this lawsuit, defamation of character. Trump was supposed to do a deposition by January 31st, and of course he's blocking it. So I want to know, will this proceed while he's president? Will this lawsuit proceed in New York? As telling Johnny earlier, Trump's going to learn to quit playing around with these women with seasonal names, Stormy. Nature names. Stick to your Melanias.
Ivanas. These names that nobody else in the world has.
Yeah. This New York case, is it going to continue? Will they get the deposition from Trump? He did all that great writing for Mueller's team with lies in it, written by everybody else. The Trump deposition. Can you imagine?
I get a lot of people.
I'm kind of getting it won't happen till he's gone from office.
I get the lovers, but then I clarified with the Four of Swords. So it's like once he's done, then yes. But I get a bunch of people. Like there's I get Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, King of Cups. I got the King of Wands. I got the Knight of Wands. So this is either a trial with the jury, or there is, I don't know why there's so many people.
Or it's all the Trump lawsuits he's going to have when he steps out the door of the White House, all the indictments sitting and waiting for him.
It could be.
Working together with lawyers after he's gone, something from the past coming up again. It's going to be a little bit of a long transition, and they're kind of taking a break on it while he's in government. But I do get it'll go forward. He'll be put in defense mode. Of course, it's over lying, defamation of character. He's going to lose it. He's going to lose it. Trump losing it. He's going to lose the case. So she's got a lot of witnesses to the sexual assault. She didn't.
Maybe that was all the people I saw.
Yeah, she didn't take him to court for sexual assault. She took him to court when he accused her of lying about the sexual assault. And she accused him of defamation of character, which is going to be easier to prove, probably. Interesting.
So let's switch well, not really switch. There's another person who is another woman. He has problems with women. Pelosi is saying that there is a cover-up in the Senate. And, Terry, I said stop cursing. You use very harsh words. Say damn or something. You can't use that one. So Pelosi is very careful with her words. She does not say things like cover-up or things that could lead to other questioning of what it is she means or what it is she's saying or what it is she's not saying. So why did she decide to use the word cover-up now?
Cover-up. What's she know? it's kind of like going back to Watergate, but Nixon did his own cover up. Now they've got the Senate doing cover up. It's bad enough when it's in the White House, but when it's in the Senate, does she have some proof to prove?
She said this out loud.
Yeah. Don't mess with Nancy.
Because if there is a cover up, then that means she possibly has some names too.
She's doing something sneaky. It's interesting. The challenge is the cover up. It is a cover up. She knows it's a cover up. Yeah. Under the dark night of the moon, howling at the moon. She's putting them in defense mode, creating anxiety because she said this too. And I'm getting there's going to be offers made that people don't want, things breaking apart in the Senate because of their hidden agenda. So I feel like, this is like some of the Republicans, like not accepting Mitch McConnell's way anymore and Trump's way, breaking apart and bringing back the scales of justice. What are you getting?
So I got 9 of Pentacles in the middle. So there is something about security, something about, we'll go with security. Then 3 of Cups in the Empress. There is a person that is involved with some sort of alliance or some sort of
support.
Like there is people in opposition or people in the Senate that one of them has an agenda and she finds out about it or she has found out about it. All of this is crossed by the 10 of Swords, so there's an ultimate loss. I think there might be a saboteur and she finds information about it or she has information about it. This is what causes her delay in the beginning, but now she's in a period of transition. So I think she has more evidence or she has an outlook on who it is she needs to watch that she didn't have before. Go ahead.
Sorry, I pulled a few more cards. I'm getting that she knows something about those who've been working with Russia for a long time too and covering that up, putting on a pretty image. And it's going to bring them loss and destruction. She's got some information on some people in the Senate. She said she would investigate senators, congressmen, or anyone who obstructed justice. So she's got some stuff. The devil in the world. She's got some dirt on some people. Doing some things globally. Traveling, probably like the Devin Nunes's also, but who else traveled? Nunes is in Congress. Who traveled in the Senate? Rand Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Who else traveled in the Senate? Lindsey Graham, did he do some traveling?
Yeah.
Trying to remember who else traveled in the Senate from Republicans. She's going to put them in defense mode. She knows about it.
So let's look at Lindsay.
Yeah, Red Eye Lindsay.
I'm gonna do and see if he's on something. If you want to do that,
I'm going to do a health reading on him because he looks like he's either been up all night crying or he's like drinking or drugging or both, or
because his eyes are redder and redder and redder every day. They're like crazy.
The bags under them and stuff, but it's like we know Trump's a drug addict. The first reading I did on that was like last October, a year ago, a year and a half in 2018. And it showed Trump's addiction then. Well, he's got something going on with his lungs on the bottom. So that reeks of something he's inhaling. He needs a backbone. He needs my spine card. He needs a backbone.
Yeah.
I'm going to be pretty blunt here. He's got some issues with sex organs, so I'm going to say prostate issues. You know, old man prostate issues. He's on some medicine he's been on for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's got colon issues too. He's got way too much of something in his blood. Way too much. And it makes him anxious. Addiction card. I'm going to say he's on pain pills.
He is. I got that too.
Bad back and affecting his spine and nerves in the spine. Addiction card. He's on pain pills. Got stomach issues too. Anxiety will do that. So maybe that's what he has in common with Trump. He likes snorts stuff.
Because I didn't get my cards for alcohol.
I didn't
get the 5 of Wands, which is a pain of some sort with the pentacle. So there is a pain med. And I do get the devil, so there is an abuse of it. And the hermit, so this is
he's doing
something that's probably for him.
He's doing it alone, probably in private.
And the 4 of Wands or the 4 of Cups means that he does excessive amounts of it because he already has some here, and then here's some more comes. So he gets a steady supply. So this is probably something chronic. But there's got to be an alcohol because why is his eyes red?
Let's ask if any of this is going to come to light on Lindsay, because he's always angry when he talks too. You know, talking 90 miles an hour, but he doesn't stumble on his words like Trump does.
I mean, there it is finally, but
he was golfing with Trump, you know, as we were being attacked. So, or as our embassy was being attacked, I should say, in Iraq. I'm going to ask, is he partying with Trump?
I'm going to ask, is he an alcoholic? Is there some alcohol here? Let's see. Because his skin don't look right either.
Speedballs like cocaine. Speedballs. Adderall. Something he inhales.
An upper.
I get that Trump has offered him some.
I still get pills though.
He's anxious about it because Trump knows.
And yeah, some of them were given. This is now I get the Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles for medication. The Ace is like medicine you take that is not legal. The Page is medicine take that's prescribed to you. And this is medicine that's given to you, sort of like not always like a Mickey, but something somebody gives to you that is not yours. So he gets to both. So he does get medicine from somewhere. I think he's recovering from probably alcohol or something like that with the temperance. The temperance is about sobriety. But well, his recovery
That's my alcohol card.
has been tampered because it comes with the 10 of Wands. So yeah,
I get he won't do it in the White House. He won't do it in the White House, but he'll do it at Mar-a-Lago or in New Jersey, at the golf clubs.
Mm.
Nice he has some decorum. He won't get stoned in the White House.
So should we look at Trump's Saturn-Pluto conjunction? And we'll look at maybe what does it mean for him politically?
Yeah, because in his natal chart, his birth chart, his Pluto is opposing Saturn, and his Saturn is opposing Pluto. It's like his in the videos I was watching of Yvonne Davis, she was talking about his pathological lying. It's from his squaring of Mercury, Neptune with his North Node, which is karma. That's where he gets his pathological lying. And now with all these conjunctions, he's going to get caught up. Like finally, karmic retribution. So let's see what's his karmic retribution going to be this year. Is he finally going to have to pay back a little? I should say, Lindsay allegedly uses uppers for YouTube, purely for entertainment purposes only. Well, he's going to have a circle of lawyers around him. The masters.
There will be an extreme limit on what it is he says. And I hear the word extreme limit, which probably means he is out of power. He's not able to just do rallies when he wants to. The Four of Cups is not something he can stop. This is not something he can alter. This is something he will have more than he's ever bargained for. The Four of Pentacles means that he will be in survival mode. This is not going to go well because he will be in a position where he has no power. He will be in a position to where things happen and he either is going to succumb to them or he's going to go along with them, or he's going to try to fight and eventually lose. But it all has the same ending. So it just depends on what kind of fight he wants to put up. But there are 8 of Swords. And this card, I looked it up in the book because I'm like, what in the world kind of image is this? And all of her senses are dulled. So she has to rely on her third eye or has to rely on her intuition. And that's where I get extreme censoring or extreme loss of messaging because the 8 of Wands comes with it. So he loses all of his physical power and messaging. The 9 of Wands, there is a uphill battle, and the 2 of Pentacles says that there will be a struggle to balance, a struggle to juggle, a struggle for this entire year, and it does end in a major, major, major change to where he is barely above water. But the rest of him is pretty much devoured by all of this survival mode. Like he's almost gone. Even if he lasts the entire year, this is still his last year in office, so whatever.
Yeah.
But he's got, and then secrets are going to be the ending of him. I'm gonna say it that way. And then there will be a new light come at the end of the year or next year for him. This is new relationships. I think he's gonna maybe meet some new people, maybe in the Manafort suite, but hopefully we'll see.
I'm getting the same thing because he's been secure in the past, and had all this money given to him, but now he's got anxiety, and all the stuff from the past is going to come up again. There's new beginnings, new inspiration with moneyed news and money laundering that's going to burden him, and the courts are going to come after him. He's going away. He's going to have to pack his bags and go. He's going to, and here we go. What does it mean for Trump? Pluto in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, Capricorn devils on him.
And Pluto is the god of the underworld.
Pluto's going to get him. We go, Trump.
So we got two more, and oddly enough, one will lead into the other one purely by coincidence. But Trudeau said that he is going to retaliate. Well, he wants justice for the Iran strike or the Iraq strike on the plane, because there were Canadian citizens on that plane. So what does it actually mean? What does he want? Does he want money? Does he want what?
What is his ultimate goal in retribution? What is he? Because they've already admitted that they shot the plane down.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, you can't get the people back for the loved ones. Is he going to try to go after some of their money? They do have a bank. I can't remember if it's in Sweden or where it is, but there's a bank that oversees a bank for Iran that has access to some of their money that can try to go after money for the people who lost loved ones. Not that money makes up for losing a loved one, right?
I see those as the deck I was just using is called 78 Tarot Elemental. And I'm about to use one now called 78 Tarot Mythical. For those asking.
He's looking for truth on a world stage. So he wants the whole story. So even though he knows that they took responsibility for it, I think he wants to know the whole story about why, who's behind it. Yeah, he wants to know the whole perspective. He wants to know the money that's behind it. King and Queen of Pentacles, so both the supporting actors and the main actors. He wants to know what the cover-up is, what the thievery is, and he wants money.
Mm-hmm.
So the money is going to come, I feel, through work. So embargoes or sanctions, putting sanctions on them.
Yeah, there is
too. He wants to break up the. He wants to break up all the people that are working on this, that are all bound to the devil. I think he's aware that it's more than just Iran. That Putin's behind it and everything. He wants to break up the. There's two dark-looking cards together, right? He wants to break up the devil pact.
Sure. Ending to the devil. I get 7 of Cups and crossed with the 8 of Pentacles. So there is some work here, or there's some money here that is in limbo, or some money that maybe he wants, or some sort of avenue in his power, whatever it is in his power that he can do. Mm-hmm. That's what he's going for, because he has a few choices, actually. He wants genuine support with the Page of Cups and the Queen of Wands. The Magician and the 5 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords. Somehow or another, he can impose some sort of money restrictions or some sort of something that shuns Iran. And so that's something he is also looking into. It ends in the 4 of Swords. So there is a... not a crippling, but it's a restriction. He wants to restrict Iran financially from something. And there's a location thing is what I keep seeing. There's something to do with location. There's also a restriction in that too. I don't know what that means yet, though. I guess we'll see. So we have one more.
Probably in the black box because he keeps trying to get a hold of the black box.
Black box too.
Yeah, trying to locating the black box.
And I saw this story too, and I didn't click on it, but I
did.
There is a tortoise
Named Diego.
Yes. So you take it away.
He's a 100-year-old tortoise. He was taken from the San Diego Zoo to the Galapagos Islands because his particular species on the island of Hispaniola, Espanol, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Anyway, on this island, there were only 2 males and 12 females left. So they took him as well as some other tortoises, of this species. But 100-year-old Diego, they increased to 2,000 tortoises on the island, and 1,800 of them are attributed to Diego's libido. 1,800 out of the 2,000 because of Diego.
He had 1,800 babies.
and like there were a whole bunch of other tortoises, like another like 12 or something they took, but they're only responsible for like 200. So genetically, Diego's going to be around for a while. He's like, they're celebrating him because he kept the species from dying out because of his libido and all the sex he had. So Diego's going back to San Diego for retirement. Let's take a look at how's his retirement going to be, or is he going to get bored because he doesn't have enough women there?
How many oracles on him?
Is that a shell company? Yeah, they had a bunch of Mitch McConnells on the island, so they had to send Diego. Somebody that can do something.
So I got Shaquiel. This is defending. This is also the angel of the sky. So the outlook. And then opportunities with the matriarch right below it. And then I get Netzah, which is the right leg or endurance. This is the card of like pushing forward and pushing on. And then right below it is curiosity with the keeper of whispers. So the seductive one. And then I get Laliel, which is the angel of the night. Keep your mind out the gutter. And then I get the ageless with curiosity and graciousness. So he will live forever.
It's interesting because I get on the bottom, he's going to be hanging on for a while. He's going nowhere. And then I get all these women that he's got new. So he's got him some new female friends that he's going to be sharing with and taking turns with. He's going to be talking with them, communicating with them. He's showing up as the king of pentacles. He's good business, right? And I think there's going to be some little Diegos out there
for a very long time.
Here he is, the king. There's going to be some more little Diegos being put out there in the world. He's going to be quite successful. Yeah, I get longevity with him too. He's going nowhere for a while.
Ageless. He is the ageless one. The keeper of whispers.
He's got a new love interest on the bottom there.
So y'all take that forth and have a good night.
Think about little Diego. Go visit him at the San Diego Zoo. He'll be there shortly.
When the world seems crazy, just remember one turtle saved his whole species.
That's right. Just takes one of us to save a species.
Oh,
just not from the Trump gene pool, please.
They're done. Oh, mercy. So y'all have a good night. We will see y'all next week on Jen's channel.
Thank you, everybody.
If something comes up, in the middle of the week. You know how we do. We'll do a live in the middle of the week too. But we'll see y'all next week.
Bye, everybody.